Thank you for all of you who have graced this occasion to hear me, and my pleasure to share my views and then also my experiences in this particular field, which has given me enormous satisfaction and also effects on my health. Actually, if I am able to maintain my health even at this age properly without any problem whatsoever, it's because of this particular science, which I learned quite accidentally, because I never knew or heard about mudras even earlier to about 80 years of my age. So after having heard it, then I did not believe in that one in the first instance. Just as anybody if we say that if you keep the fingers in a particular position, it is going to have a particular effect and on your health. Nobody believes it in the beginning, but this has been a science which has been existing since the Vedic times, because it's a part of yoga, a continuation of the yoga, and then actually a part of Ayurveda, which is a part of Atharva Veda. That means it is not a new system that is introduced into the society. It was there, but systematically eradicated out of our practice, and with the introduction of modern medicine by the Britishers were keen that our culture and then our habits are completely wiped out. And in that course, we have lost this science also. But we have to remember that it is not new, and then we have to revive it. And then by reviving it is only to our advantage, because out of the many systems that our ancestors have given us for good health, maintaining good health, mudras I have found incomparable, because it does not involve any money, and no time restrictions also, and no pain, and anybody can do it from a child to the old person, and at any time of the day. And what it all demands is your fingers, nothing else, not even a position to sit in a particular position. So you can be sitting, seeing the TV or conversing with the other people, or going for a walk and then doing anything like that. Independent of what you are doing, you can certainly carry out this particular positioning of the fingers, which will result in enormous benefits. Enormous benefits, because I am confidently saying it, because all my difficulties have been overcome by means of these mantras. All my own, because I was suffering from not only headache, but also from stomach ache and then indigestion, quite common thing, and also skin troubles, and then some pain in the legs also, a joint pains, for example. All these were quite common at the age of 80, and it is quite old enough to experience all those things, in experiencing all those things. And before that also I was there, I was experiencing them, but unfortunately, by God's grace, a relative of mine, as Mr. Venkatesh has told, gave a number of pages, pictures of mudras. And then he said it is possible to overcome any difficulty in health by using these sketches. First of all, I didn't believe that one, but when I got a headache, severe headache, another day, then I thought of immediately taking a pill as usual, Saridan, for example. But remember that there was something in the pictures. So I took up the picture and then took it up. And believe it or not, I did that particular positioning of the finger that day about more than 12 or 14 years ago. And then the headache hasn't returned. I don't think many people will believe that, but you have to believe that, because I am the person who is experiencing it. A person who is experiencing is saying it. So I have not got headache since then, years before. And even now I don't have any headache. Even if there is any upset in the food that I intake or any other source, I have not got headache. That is one thing. So I was wondering, oh, it is possible to do it. If that is possible to reduce headache and then completely eliminate it, as it were, then why not try for other things also? For example, I tried for my stomach ache, indigestion, and then I tried for my skin troubles. That is a major effect that I had, that I got also. In the skin, something was developing, small patches, circular patches all over the body, on the hands and on the face and on the lips and also down below, in between the legs also, groin and other areas. And I was fearing that I might get this, what is something like this, look at my effect. And I was a chief engineer at the medical engineering hospital also, Kasturba Hospital, and all the heads of departments were known to me, and then I consulted them. When I consulted them, they said, it is a serious matter, Mr. Iyer. So I'll anyway give some medicines, you take it and then let us see. Even steroids may have to be taken for that one and all that. But when I came to Mysore back, I had already settled down in Mysore by then. I came to Mysore and then just did not take those pills, but tried what was recommended for that particular thing. Now, believe it or not, it was such a simple thing that was suggested. Just a simple positioning of the fingers like this, which is called as a Varuna Mudra. I did this, and then the whole thing escaped, as it were, in a matter of a few days, or about a week or 10 days time. I could not believe that myself, because it was such a serious thing for me, and it has been reduced to nothing at all. And all over the body, it was cleared of a simple positioning of the fingers like this. What a great thing it should have been. And then I thought that why not try for other things also, stomach ache, and then the pains in the body and all. And I got immediate relief for those things also. I could not contain myself in that one, because if that is effective so much for one man, it must be effective for others also. So I started sharing with my friends, and then those friends also helped me a lot. And in fact, as a sequel to that, I started giving lectures to groups of people, and also for organizations like financial institutions, like Axis Bank, for example, or other institutions, educational institutions. Now I might have given more than 150 lectures on this particular topic only. But in all these things, I found a great interest in this particular science. And then many people have tried this and then got very good results. Even today, I can tell you, I am receiving quite a good amount of appreciation for the use of these methods, and then they are getting a lot of effect, lot of results and positive results, and then they are indebted to this particular science. And that way, then what is this science after all? Of course, it has shown me a lot of advantages. In fact, I could, as Mr. Venkatesh said, I could climb up the Shravanabalaga hills at 85 years of age, and also the Melkote temple also, and also go for it, all India, Karnataka tour in 4 days time, from north to south and east to west. We have got many areas without my getting any problem at all. No question of any pain or anything was there. And then I was quite comfortable, and in the end also I was quite normal. So to that extent, mudras have helped me. That is why I was so confident in using these mudras, and even today.
Yes, sir. Sorry for the interruption.
If my
introduction is too well, please come to the science of mudras.
Indriyas are properly functioning, panchendriyas, all that functioning,
yes,
defeating the 97 years old age, then it is because of the mudras. And I have great faith in that one. And the faith has been certainly, has paid a lot of dividends. And then I am confident that anybody who takes it seriously, one thing is certain, you have to take it very seriously. You have to believe in that one, and you have to persist in that one. This is going to help me. You have to prepare your mind and an attitude that it is a good science, and it is going to help me, because it is painless, effortless, and then it is applicable in any position that I am in while working. If my only fingers are free, that's all what it demands. So to that extent, it is helpful to anybody that tries to cultivate this particular method. So I am sure anybody who tries it will be good. In the initial stages, it is difficult. The only problem in this one is the time factor. See, just imagine a particular disease to develop. It takes a lot of time. That is, so many days. After so many days, we start having pain or fever or something like that. But if we expect that to be cured within no time at all, how can it be done? Because the curing method should have to completely eradicate the source of the cure and source of the difficulty that we are facing, and then only we can expect some cure out of it. So it takes time. That is the only problem that is there, if at all it's a problem. Because our health, as you know, everybody is concerned about our health. Who is not concerned about our health? Because whatever we are, however rich we are, whatever in position we are, if health is not there, we are not going to engage, we are not going to get benefits out of it. So health is the prime, and for our benefit, the creator of this body has provided all that is required to maintain good health till we die. That is full span of life. If we go with very good health, provided we are natural in our habits, and then our environment is good, and our diet is also good, and we have got positive attitudes. So provided these things, there is absolutely no problem in maintaining good health till we die, because the Creator has provided parts in our body so that they are the most coordinating one among themselves, and then they are at it for any difficulty that is faced. Every part of the body comes into picture and then help to maintain good health. That is what the Creator has given to everyone, not merely human beings, but all that has been created in the world. And whatever has been created has been given a particular span of life. And for that span of life, there is absolutely no problem in maintaining your health. That is what the Creator has done. That we have to realize only. Now for this one, mudras are very helpful, because in spite of various other methods that have been given to us by acupressure, acupuncture and so on, mudras are the simplest out of these things, because it requires only your fingers to be free. Fingers to be free and to be kept in a particular position. So if you keep your fingers in a particular position, that's all what is required. What position is to be done is what is required to be done. What is required to be known. That's all. So nothing else is required. Painless, costless, and time easy method. So how is this brought about? Now we know that the whole creation is out of three basic elements called as Panchamahabhutas. We have all heard about it, and these Panchamahabhutas are the one that create all these forms of life, all including the human beings. The human being is also created out of these Panchamahabhutas, and these Panchamahabhutas are forming various types of forms of life, and including the human being. So, and another thing that the Creator has bestowed us is these Panchamahabhutas, which form part of the body. If any one of them goes out of balance, then there is going to be disease. They must always be in balance, whether it is on the macro level or on the micro level in our body. They have to be in balance. On a macro level, we have heard of volcanoes, tsunamis, and then so many other natural tornadoes. All these are natural things which come out of the imbalance in the one of the Panchamahabhutas being out of order. So also in our body also the same thing happens. If any one of these Panchamahabhutas by which we are formed, if one of them goes out of order, the other goes to try to help them. But if they're not, it is not possible or easy, it goes out of order. So that is what is happening inside of the body. That is why we have to see that these ought to be balanced, in balance always. Now, how do we do this one? Can mudras help us? Yes. Yes is answered by our rishis and munis and then yoga teachers. How do we do that? You see, the Creator has given us the palm and the 5 fingers. A wonderful creation indeed, amazing creation indeed. We only know that our hand is used for cooking or eating or holding or fighting or doing for some work or writing or some such thing like this. But we do not normally know that they are meant for directing the energies of the body to a balanced state. Now, that is an amazing thing if we know the details of that one, because the 5 fingers represent the 5 energies or the basic elements. The 5 fingers, that is the middle finger represents the space energy, the index finger, the air energy, and this fire energy, thumb, and then jala, that is the small finger represents the water energy, and then this ring finger represents the earth energy. Space, air, fire, water, and then earth. These ought to be in proportions for a human being. Generally, the space is about 6%, the air is about 6%, then fire is about 4%, and water is a maximum, that's about 72%, and this ring finger, earth energy is about 12%, making the 100%. That is what a human being is. So a human being is made out of those proportions, and different organisms are formed out of different proportions of these things also. And a small proportion of this change in that is also giving us different forms of the human being himself. So these 5 fingers are most important in those things, because we can control the imbalances from whatever imbalance has occurred in water finger, for example, finger energy, that can be adjusted by means of using the thumb and that particular finger. For example, bringing the thumb and the finger together like this, but tips of the finger to be brought into that one, what happens is normally the cosmic energy or Chaitanya or life energy that is there in the body is normally exchanging between the environment and our body. An exchange is going on through the fingers and the toes and the other openings in the body. And what we can do is we can adjust through the fingers, the going out of the body and arrest them and then bring it back into our body. By clearly holding the finger like this, the energy that was wasting out through this finger, for example, can be arrested by forming the circuit. And then when we form this particular position of the finger, what happens is these fingers are provided with very sensitive neurons, and that is stimuli, which carry this information that a particular thing has happened through the nadis, which are 72,000 in number in our body, covering all the nook and corners in the body, and then through the chakras and through the ida and pingular nadis, and on to the brain, and the brain analyzes what has happened and then takes up the particular decision and gives back to the motor through the motor nerves. That is what happens when you just touch the finger. All these things are happening without our knowledge, and the body takes over what is to be done. So by just merely touching, the imbalance of a particular energy in a particular field, that can be brought into balance by means of just bringing in the finger, the thumb tip to coincide with the tip of that particular finger in which that energy has become imbalanced. So these various basic units, basic input things can be brought back into balanced position like that. Now if there is an excess energy, it can be reduced by decreasing that energy by bringing that finger to the base of the thumb and keeping the thumb over that one like that. Or if it is to be increased, then the thumb should be brought to the base of the thumb and it can be increased. So balance, decrease and increase can be done by such a simple technique of bringing in the fingers. So it directs the energies which are out of balance, and to bring it to a particular position, and it is done with the various nadis which are provided, and then the positioning of the finger, and then the directing of the particular imbalanced one to become balanced on account of the decision taken by the hypothalamus in the brain. That hypothalamus is like a headmaster which consults the pituitary and pineal glands to analyze what has happened when a particular position is shown, and then what is to be done, and then the order is given accordingly to the fingers, up to the fingers and to the hand, what is to be done. So that is what is going on in this one. And also that is one very important aspect of mudras, how to balance the five tattvas or energies that are there in the body. And also, it is not enough if you have got a solid body. It must, for this to function properly, and then to see that it is alive, there must be some energy that is there also. That is the energy is, that is the Chaitanya or the life force or the cosmic energy that is there, which has entered in our body through when we get born. And this particular energy that is there is flowing to every part of the body and to the nook and corners of the body, and keeps this body alive unless this force, Chaitanya, is present in the body, in all the parts of the body, then we cannot function properly. If it is obstructed to function in any part of the body, that part goes out of order, or paralysis takes place. So that is why it is very essential to see that this particular force, Chaitanya, is allowed to flow without any problem or difficulty in the nadis that are there all over the body, which keeps the body alive. So the first thing is balancing of these Panchamahabhutas, and the second thing is allowing the flow of the body, flow of the prana in the nadis without any obstruction whatsoever. If these two things are assured, believe me, we can maintain perfect health without any problem whatsoever. Because it is those two aspects which make us healthy. And those two aspects, if they are satisfied, then we maintain perfect health whatsoever. So that is one thing that we know. Then what are the mudras that we can do? And why do we get ill in that matter? We get ill because of what Dr. Pai has already said about it, LSD, lifestyle diseases, LSD, lifestyle diseases. And because we don't have law in the matter, that is light, air and water. These three things are required, which are polluted nowadays in the urban areas. So LSD is, and then law is not in our control. And though it is in our control, we have neglected and taken a negative attitude, or a desire which is beyond the requirement that is there, we have resorted to, and we have, and many of our thoughts are negative thoughts. We are inviting by what is called as Arishadvargas: Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada and Matsarya. And to this I have added three more, because they are also as negative as possible, as they can be. And they are the TV, the mobile and the media. So I call them as Arinava Vargas. Instead of Arishadvargas, Arinava Vargas: Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, TV, mobile and then media, the newspapers. These five, I need not tell you how negative news is given every day. Crime, rape and social crimes and other things are highlighted in all these things. And then our mind is also affected by means of these things, and then we get affected. And when the mind is affected, the body is also affected, because the mind and body always go together. If one is affected, the other is automatically affected. So disease results in all these things, in going in pursuing a negative path out of these things also. So we have to see that we have to understand what is good to, what is to be done in these matters. Now there are some things which are not in our control. For example, the environmental degradation that is there in the garbage, the pollution in air, pollution in water. These things are not in our control. Though the society has got that responsibility, many times they go out of order because they are not available in a pure way. So this causes disease also. So environmental degradation is one thing which is not in our control, the person's control, and then the diet is also another thing which is not which is in our control. But there are two things in diet. That is, one is what our stomach wants, and which for our growth of the body, our maintenance of the body, and then the other thing is the tongue, which gives us the taste. So mostly in the nowadays, for example, so many things are available outside that the tongue controls our diet much more than the stomach. The stomach says, "Arey Baba, don't take it," but the tongue says, "Oh, it's very, very tasty. Why not try it?" So that is how we go on doing this, and that is a difficult thing to do. So,
Yes, sir.
So in these things, we get diseases out of these negative attitudes and work that we do also.
Yes, sir. Conclude in 5 minutes.
Mudras help us.
Yes, sir.
It can help us also. Because for mental difficulties that are there can be easily understood.
Yes, sir. Can you see me?
Cured by me.
Yes, sir. Please conclude in 5 minutes. Let us go to the interactive session. People are
mental attitude.
love to ask you the question.
Yes, Mr. Anything?
Yeah. Please conclude in 5 minutes. So people may love to ask you the questions because a lot of questions may be there. Yeah.
Excuse me. Please repeat.
Sir, please conclude in 5 minutes.
Please again.
Please conclude in 5 minutes. People may, let us go for the interactive session. People may love to ask you the questions.
Okay.
Okay. So please conclude it in few minutes.
Okay. So there are very many sources of getting ill, and from that we can easily tide over that one by means of the mudras. What are mudras? The mudras are positioning of fingers into particular postures by touching or bending or interlocking or doing like this. So in these ways we can bring in particular effects from these things and then get cured also. So mudras can be done for a particular period of time, about 45 minutes is maximum that is session, and then the technique we have already known, balancing, and then other things also we have known, and then we can use certain mudras. If you ask questions, I will give you certain mudras also. So mudras can be used for curing many of our diseases, especially even whether it is simple or even complicated. We can use mudras for these things. For example, can you believe that supposing you got a scratching sensation, I ask you to do, for example, bring all the 5 fingers together and then keep your fingers against that particular position where it is annoying. So instead of scratching by means of your nails, just keep it over that particular position, these 5 fingers. You get an amazing result. You try it if you like. For example, if any of you is suffering from that one, you can try it also. And also when you are walking, if you just hit something and then you get pain, do the same thing. Bring all the 5 fingers together and keep it over that particular position where it is paining. You'll see an amazing result also. How the pain reduces and it does not come again. And then there are many, for example, if you are talking, your throat is very much in difficulties. You bring your fingers into this position called as Udana Mudra. You'll find immediate relief or very soon. And then you can talk freely, and then the throat gets cleared, and then the nose also gets cleared. And then there are many such methods wherein you can bring the position of the fingers into a particular posture, and then that results in a particular direction of the energy, and then that corrects also what is wrong. And that is the effect of mudras. So I can give you in a number of instances of doing it, especially you are sitting living in cities and then going up the staircase in a flat is very common, or going up the road gradients is very common also. In that case, you hold your fingers in this position, what is called as Apana Vayu Mudra, Apana Vayu Mudra, and then you'll see how effective it is in seeing that you are not affected by means of this breathing difficulties or pain or that something like that. And also, supposing you have got skin troubles, as I said, doing this particular mudra, Varuna Mudra, this Varuna Mudra is a wonderful mudra that you can do. And then that has got enormous effects that you can also reduce, cure all your skin troubles. And then eye troubles, for example, also. You do this, what is called as Prana Mudra. And this Prana Mudra brings you great relief to eye troubles also. And headache, for example. Headache can be reduced by means of either what is called as Gnana Mudra itself. This Gnana Mudra is another most effective mudra, especially people having children. If they do this Gnana Mudra and then teach their children, their performance will be enormously increased. And then see that you do it very, and you can feel that also they develop good attitudes, and then also the negative attitudes are removed, and those things are possible by means of this one single mudra, Gnana Mudra. So such mudras are very great in number, and for each one of these diseases, we have got a mudra. So I will be very happy to hear problems from you and then tell you more about this. For example, this thyroid problems. Thyroid problems are done by means of what is called as Shankha Mudra. Shankha Mudra is done by means of keeping the thumb like this in the palm, covering it up like this, and then like this. That is resembling a Shankha. So that's why it's called a Shankha Mudra. So this has got a very great effect on bringing down the thyroid problems, and also the 72,000 nerves are also made to function properly, and then stuttering and stammering, that also can be controlled by means of this particular mudra. And if it's not possible, you can do another way, that is Shankha Mudra, Sarala Shankha Mudra. That is interlocking the fingers like this and then doing this way. And especially for women, a great mudra that is there in controlling their menopause difficulties and also their period difficulties by what is called as a Yoni Mudra, by interlocking the fingers and then bringing the index finger and the thumb like this. That is called as Yoni Mudra, giving in front of your stomach. That controls your menopause problems and then the monthly problems also. There are many such mudras. For example, all your pains in the body can be controlled by means of what is called the Vayu Mudra. Bending this one like this, the index finger like this, or Vishnu Vayu Mudra like this. So there are mudras for every one of our problems. And if you take any book on mudras, and if you take my mudra, I can say that all these things are explained properly in a particular methodology. What is that mudra? How much time it is to be done? How it is to be done? And what are its effects? You can get it as a practical example, and then you can use that to your advantage. Whatever you are suffering from, you can also refer to a particular index that I have given, wherein many of its ordinary ailments are provided, and what ailments are there, what mudras are to be done, and on what page you can get the details of these things. That also can be got by means of my particular book, which is this one, this particular mudra, that is Art and Science of Mudras. A great result of what Dr. Pai Venkatesh and Arun Belvedi have given me. They have helped me a lot in preparing this book, and even up to the publishing stage. Even publishing was arranged by them, and for the photos and other things that was necessary for this. All these things, Dr. Pai has been magnanimous in this one, and he helped not only in providing the facility with his staff to prepare this manuscript and also publish it, and then also help in discussions of various things that were also involved in in this particular science. And I'm very happy and I'm very grateful to them, all the staff that are there, that are with him, and Dr. Pai especially, who is a munificent and magnanimous attitude person. And he has provided not only persons, but also the infrastructure also in preparing the manuscript and the publishing. So I'm very grateful to you all for having heard me this short talk. It's a very great science, requiring a lot of time and a lot of explanation also. But in whatever time I was available to me, I think I have shared my experiences, and hope that whoever follows this one will certainly get advantages, and the result is definite. Only please have confidence in this one, pursue it, be slow in doing it, and do it, and you'll have absolutely no problem in maintaining your normal. Thank you very much. Thank you.